I'm a born-again Christian. I'm a preacher of the gospel, but I'm a traditionalist. How am I a traditionalist? I married my wife according to the custom of her people. I paid the bride price. I did every other thing that I was supposed to do. I invited my mother-in-law to my house for Ogomalobe. She came to my house. I cooked for her and the people she came with. And they ate and they were happy visiting their daughter in her own house. Some people don't even go to the village to pay bride price of the women they live with. So many people are living with women that they never married. They have up to 4 or 5 children. I've come across so many women like that. They will be agonizing. Before you marry, even in the church, before you marry, the pastor or the priest, the reverend father will ask you, who is handing this woman over to this man? And then the father will come out, I am. Did this man do everything that he's supposed to do for you before you release your daughter as a wife to him? Yes. If you did not do it, the church will not wed you. But these days, somebody will just invite somebody to Lagos. The person will come and then you get Ambele. And then they have become wife and husband. They live in Lagos. Nobody knows them. And like that, so many people have married their sisters unknowingly. When I started teaching, I was paid 96 naira a month. 1976, I was paid 96 naira a month. And if I take 1 naira and go to the market, I will buy what I will eat for 1 week. I still had savings out of it.
At that time, the currency wasn't really as it is now.
Nigerian currency was stronger than the dollar now. It was 65 kobo per dollar. The naira fluctuation and devaluation was done in 1991 by IBB. He came and he devalued it. He made it, 1 naira to $2. Abacha came up and made it 1 naira to 20 naira to $1. That was how they willingly devalued and destroyed our currency. They didn't know what they were doing because they were not trained. They were not supposed to be in governance. The pastor is interested, the reverend is interested in the money he makes. He's not interested in the well-being of the people. The church is after membership, after numbers. Many churches don't tell their people the truth. Preach the gospel as it was preached to you when you were an unbeliever.
Okay, let's go.
Are there mistakes you made growing up, maybe as a teenager, as a young man, that you wouldn't want other young people to make or to avoid?
There are usually mistakes along life's program. Sometimes you do certain things you wouldn't have done, but thank God that when such mistakes are made and they are not costly ones, you can wriggle out. And there wasn't anything we didn't indulge in. That I'm a father today, or that I'm born again today, or that I'm a successful entrepreneur today, does not mean that it was all ready-made. The only thing is that my family background helped me a little, because my late father, didn't go to school, and he decided that his children must go to school. And then he started training us from primary to secondary to the tertiary level. And there wasn't much mistakes. Nothing I did. I didn't smoke hemp. I took booze. I drank, but not to that excessive nature. And we weren't adventurous as much. We didn't make much mistakes because we continued to live life at our level. Go to school, come back from school, go to farm. Yeah. Sometimes we went fishing, went to stream. In those days, you carry a bucket of water in your head, go down to stream and fetch the water and then carry it home. So we are subjected to village life and life that made us disciplined. We were always obeying our parents. It was a norm to be obedient. So we weren't given to disobedience.
Wow.
We were not disobeying our parents. We had peer groups. Our intentions were to succeed, And so we were working together as a group of friends and students. That was just that. But the only thing is that you can never grow beyond the level of where you stay.
Yeah.
We were in the village. And we hadn't much. It was a village school, St. Peter's Anglican Primary School, Okija. Then another village school, Abbott Grammar School. About Boys Grammar School, Ihala. And then, of course, to St. Charles in Onitsha, where I studied and I had my teacher's grade 2, with which I started teaching. So by then, our aim and objective was, if you're not a doctor, you're not a lawyer, the next thing you have to become a teacher. Because you didn't have to look for a job at our level. When we finished secondary school, I finished in 1976. June, by November, I became a teacher in the same school, Airport Boys.
Wow.
I was the first to be somebody that came from the, classroom to staff room in Airport Boys. I was the first in the history of the school, and that became a challenge to other students. And then it made some of them puff up. Leo Ewuzie, that was what I was answering in those days. Leo Ewuzie is now a teacher. He stays in the classroom. And after school, I would just leave I won't go back to my house. I will go back to the dormitory. Because some of my classmates who were repeating were living in the hostels. So I'll go back to them. We discuss as we used to do. So it was just a simple life that we lived, not very much. We were having girlfriends, having boyfriends. We had bunks. We do things that normal things that young boys of these days do. But we were not in excess of it in any of them. You understand? We never had anything in excess. So with that background and the culture in the village, I grew up. And during those days, we were very industrious. We had gardens, we had farms, we went to the farms. In the school, you must be involved in one major thing or another. It's either you're in sports or you're in debate or you're in another thing. You must get involved to be known in the school. The school must pass through you. You don't just have to pass through the school. You have to get involved. And we hadn't much problem in those days. Teachers were everywhere because those who finished, people that had taught class in schools, in their universities, they come out, they become teachers. Graduate teachers, they employed and they begin to teach. Those who had very fine grades will remain in universities teaching a lot. And so life was easy. Wow. There wasn't lack of job. Money was not a problem because by then I started as what you call auxiliary teacher. Auxiliary teachers in those days were people that finished secondary school without any knowledge of teaching. They have not gone to the College of Education or the College of Training, Teachers Training College. Yeah. Or the people that are fresh from the university who never had education as their fields of establishment, their fields of specialization. Yeah. I was a Christian. Nominal Christian though. Okay. We went to church on Sundays. Sometimes you can also go to Sunday school. After service on Sundays, by 3:30 p.m., there will be a bell that will be rung. It is called Sunday school. It was called Sunday school. And we had to go to Sunday school. In that place, you are given doctrinal teachings in the school by the catechist or the church wardens, those who were there. The person whose turn it was to teach will teach you.
Oh, wow. Such a beautiful youth life. So you did not have any struggle with any moral deficiency, addiction?
I didn't. I told you, those things were antisocial in those days.
It wasn't common.
It wasn't common now. Where will you see somebody smoking Indian hemp?
Wow.
You don't see people smoking Indian hemp. It was an aberration. Before you see somebody smoking Indian hemp, you tell the person as a madman, as a mad fellow. This madness today is different from what it was in those days. The highest we did was to smoke cigarettes in school. And that was to show off when we go to parties. Jump, jump, jump. We go to horse and jump. Sometimes we collect money, put money together, 10 naira. You be 10, contribute 10 naira. You have 100 naira. You have plenty to eat and drink with 100 naira.
So what do you think is the challenge of this generation? Like, what do you have to say to this current?
This particular generation, I don't know, I will not call it cursed. Because if I say that it's a cursed generation, I'm still part of it. Because they are where we left them. The issue is that a lot of things are played into being. I'm not going to talk about the most recent, the Okite, the Yahoo. I want to talk about the issue of industry. In those days, if a child finishes secondary school or primary school, and the parents were not well to do, they couldn't take the person to school, they will send him to go and do apprenticeship. Very important. And that particular time, the child will go there, will live with somebody that was not the parents, and will obey them as he used to obey the parents. That is how you have all these big money bags today. They were all boy. Many of them went through boy, except the people whose parents were traders in those days who had money. And then they were absorbed into their father's own business. And see, they were there as apprentices, because you must learn the trade for you to practice. We were ready to learn. We were teachable. We were ready to learn. The people of these days are not teachable. They are not ready to learn. They think that the millionaire he sees today was made overnight. But these millionaires, if they tell you what they passed through, like some of our peer group people that time, I knew some of them who are multi-billionaires today. But when they were young with us, they were not able to eat. Their parents were so poor, but they were taking life easy. They had to obey their parents. In the morning, they would go out, do one chore or the other before they will leave for school. Before the person comes to school, the person will be late. And then the moment the person finishes primary school, he will go and become an apprentice. And then after 6 or 7 years or 10 years, the person will be settled, given a shop. And the person will continue to do his own business. But these children of these days don't want that way. They want to carry money in bundle. In the Igbo parlance, but that is, you pick money. You don't grab money. You pick it from point to point. You must do this and do that before you're able to get money. So if you have 10 kobo, you will know that you worked for it. This time people will stay at home and then press button, swindle somebody and money will flow. And they will be eating money to their own detriment. You know the problem. Somebody, when you were born, God has destined you to be something. And He has determined the amount of money that you will eat within the time you are alive. You live here. So if you went ahead to go and do magic and then command money from all places, that is why they command money that their parents would have eaten. They command money from their siblings. They command money. When you look at them, you find people around them very wretched. You look around them, they will be the only iroko there. There won't be any other trees within. Other things will be shrub. They went into money rituals. Money ritualism wasn't as much then. The people that did money ritual in those days, their families are suffering today. What they suffer is that you go to that place, the place will become a relic of what a home should be. Becomes, a flow back. There's always a flow back in what people do. Whatever you do will come back to you one way or the other. So if you go and get the money that your parents, that your siblings would have gotten, you get the money that God would have given you in your 70th year, you went and collected it in 30 years, what will happen in 70 years? There won't be money for you to spend by that time. They will be in trouble. A lot of things happen. So these particular people now, the present generation, they are not teachable. Not all.
Yeah.
But when I'm saying there, I have to give that exception to the few that are willing and ready to obey their parents. They want to get money, quick money. They go and do okite. They go and do money ritual. They go and do Yahoo Plus. All these things were not there in those days. And I think it's because of the internet. In those days, when you finish eating in the night, the family will stay together and gist and discuss. The parents will tell their children their experiences. You learn from them. But this time, when you finish eating, do people stay together? They don't stay together. Mama on your own, daughter on your own, son on your own, everybody on the phone. There is not that family unity, that blood bond, that relationship is no longer there. In the old, we tell stories, folk stories, folklore, akukiho, mbe, and the elephant, mbe, and the crocodile. A lot of stories were told us. And these stories that are meant to make you wise. Culture is not sin. People tell you these days that Christianity is a scam. It's a lie. Herbalism is different from ritualism. They go into rituals. It is not herbalism that they are practicing. What people call culture today is not the culture. I'm a born-again Christian. I'm a preacher of the gospel, but I'm a traditionalist. How am I a traditionalist? I married my wife according to the custom of her people. I paid the bride price. I did every other thing that I was supposed to do. I invited my mother-in-law to my house for Gomalobe. She came to my house. I cooked for her and the people she came with. And they ate and they were happy visiting their daughter in her own house. Some people don't even go to the village to pay bride price of the women they live with. So many people are living with women that they never married. They have up to 4 or 5 children. I've come across so many women like that. They will be agonizing. Before you marry, even in the church, before you marry, the pastor or the priest, the reverend father will ask you, who is handing this woman over to this man? And then the father will come out, I am. Did this man do everything that he's supposed to do for you before you release your daughter as a wife to him? Yes. If you did not do it, the church will not wed you. But these days, somebody will just invite somebody to Lagos. The person will come and then you get umbrella. And then they have become wife and husband. They live in Lagos. Nobody knows them. And like that, so many people have married their sisters unknowingly. Yeah. There is what we call Ejuase. You go and ask about the background where the person you want to marry is coming from. The man will go and ask. The woman will go and ask to make sure that you are not marrying out of stock. Even in the Bible, God said, you shall not give your daughters to their men, and you will not take their daughters to your sons as wives. You are a special stock, a peculiar people, a royal priesthood that is meant to be God's people. But our people have rejected it. Okite. These things are not working. They're not working. Tell me a billionaire in Anambra State today that met his money through Yahoo. You will not count anyone. The money they make is money to drive one car and build one duplex. That's all. It's not a money that can be extended to the family. And if you belong to their family, you cannot enjoy their money because they won't give you any money that will become meaningful for you. If you eat their money, you'll die. If they give you money, they destroy your own money. That is the problem of ritual money. Egombute. It's not useful. So we didn't go into those things. We were taught. I was taught to use my salary for months. When I started teaching, I was paid 96 naira a month.
Really?
Yes, 1976. I was paid 96 naira a month. And if I take 1 naira and go to the market, I will buy what I will eat for 1 week. I still had savings out of it.
At that time, the currency wasn't really as it is now.
Nigerian currency was stronger than the dollar now. It was stronger than dollar in those days. It was 65 kobo per dollar. The naira fluctuation and devaluation was done in 1991 by IBB. He came and he devalued it. He made it, 1 naira to $2. Abacha came up and made it 1 naira to 20 naira to $1. That was how they willingly devalued and destroyed our currency. They didn't know what they were doing because they were not trained. They were not supposed to be in governance. But they forced themselves into positions they were not trained. They were trained soldiers. They were not trained to rule. They didn't know about economics. And anybody they brought in will only dance to their tune. You cannot see a man carrying a gun and he will tell you what he wants and you oppose him. If you oppose him, you are putting your life in danger. And that is why most of those economists did not tell them the truth about what they were doing. And it was easy for them to go abroad and be deceived by the IMF. You cannot borrow money when you have what you will use in exchange for money. They abandoned our pyramids of groundnut. They abandoned the cocoa. They abandoned the oil mills here down south. And they were trying to go and borrow money. But the issue is that the average Nigerian is stupid. Let me put it that way. The average Nigerian leader. By the time they go to Dubai today, they go to Dubai, a desert place that was converted and meant to be a good place to live. The money the people from that country borrowed was not as much as Nigeria borrowed. Go to Malaysia. Malaysia had nothing. They came to Benin here and picked palm kernel. Today, Malaysia is the world's greatest producer of palm oil, palm kernel, palm everything. And there is nothing in the palm tree that is a waste. The breakfast and other things, they use it to convert this into, to produce them. But we have these things here. We don't go into them. Everybody wants to go and catch money and carry money without working for it. Nobody wants to work. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
That is our problem. The present people now, the other man said that they are lazy Nigerian youths. And if I am talking like this now, it appears I'm agreeing with him, because people should do what they will do to get what they ought to get. China was nothing. The money that China borrowed wasn't more than the one Nigeria borrowed. Our politicians will borrow our money, go and squander it. Sometimes they borrow money, put it on top of the table and divide it. I saw it in Anambra State. In those days, you divide money, go and tar road. They say no. If we tell them that the roads are tarred, they will know that the roads are tarred. The money is very conditioned. They call it very condition. Those who know, we know. Very condition. We call it very condition. They use the money that is supposed to be used to, provide infrastructure. They use it for merriment. They use it for, so that is how
what do you think now is the place of the church in this?
The place of the church in this time is that the church has also forgotten what it's supposed to do. The church is not playing its part. When the church is in politics, when the pastor is not there to work for the upbringing of the children, when the pastor is not there interested in the congregation, he's only interested in the pocket. The pastor is interested, the reverend is interested in the money he makes. He's not interested in the well-being of the people. If you want me to expatiate on that, I think I will tell you that the church is after membership, after numbers. Many churches don't tell their people the truth. Preach the gospel as it was preached to you when you were an unbeliever. What did they tell you? Some people say you have to put money to get money. Some churches, you go there and you register with money for counseling. Some places, oh my God, the church has left its root. No wonder the master was saying in Revelations, remember where you left your first love and go back to it. Do you understand me? The church has left her first love, which is telling people that Jesus saves, which is telling people to do good. They will go to the governor or the president, and instead of telling the president that what you are doing is wrong, this principle does not work, this theory is not working, why not try this, why not try that? They will give you money and you carry money home. Ezekiel said that God is looking for a watchman, somebody that will stand and watch the people in authority. Listen, you have the king, you have the priest, and you have the Levites. The prophets, yeah. These are the people that make up a nation, the leadership. The checkmate is for the prophet to checkmate the king, and the priest to tell the king how to live. But these people will now, the prophet, instead of prophet telling the prince, the king that you will die if you do this, the prophet will not do it. The king will give the prophet money, and the prophet will go in. That is what is happening. In those days, it was not like that. And that was why prophets last longer than kings. When you go to the book of prophets, all these prophets, if you go to the book of Isaiah, it will tell you that Isaiah was the son of Amos, and that he prophesied in the time of Hosea, in the time of this man, in the time of this other man. There were a prophet outlives kings. A prophet outlives kings. I cannot want to be a king, because the king must die, while the prophet will live up to the king's 3, 4, 5 generations. Yeah. Go to the Bible and search it out for yourself. But today, the prophets no longer live long because they don't do what they're supposed to do. And when God is angry with a prophet, he kills him. The church should learn to do the right thing. The church is not doing the right thing. That is what I'm saying. Now they say, my church, my congregation. It's no longer Christ's church. It's no longer Christ's congregation. Somebody will be in your church and another person will come to your church and tell him to come to his own because he needs money, he needs number. They are not looking for people to take to heaven. They're looking for people to, get their money from their pocket. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so many pastors have stopped telling the congregation the truth. We preach every day and we make no impact because the people we are preaching to, the ears are there, but they don't hear. They are idols. Psalm 115 says that the people who make these idols are like them. They have ears, they hear not. They have eyes, they see not. They have hands, they move not. That is what people will get in idolatry, going to worship idol. That is what our people are saying now. Let's go back. Go down to them there, you will see people. You will see people. I think also Sulu them, the people are no longer staying there. They have run away. They are no longer selling human parts and other things there. Otherwise, if you go there, you still see them. They believe that in whiling away time, in killing people, and in making charms that will destroy others, that we make it. You can never make it. It's not. The church, some pastors go there to derive power. Do you understand? So the issue of the church was not like that in those days. Wow. In those days, the church, they will flog you even for coming to church late. Wow. They will flog you for coming to church late, but these days, people who go to church, there will time, when it is about 10 minutes to the end, they will just show face, and they do in the name of the Father, and then they do the grace, and they disperse. They have gone to church when they were not there to hear the right word, when they were not there to get the right information. So the church will have to repent of its laxity, not doing what they are supposed to do. They left the congregation to wallow in sin. They are unable to gather the congregation that God gave to them. Some of them scatter. Some of them tell lies against the people that they ought to be telling truths. A lot of things. But God help us.
Amen.
Amen.
Wow, thank you so much.
God bless you.
I think I learned a lot from this. Please, like in a minute or two, can you quickly advise a young man that wants to also get into entrepreneurship?
Okay.
The best advice you can give to them.
Any young man that wants to get into entrepreneurship will first of all make up his mind on what to do. Make up your mind on what you want to do. What do you want to do? Go and learn that thing. Research on it. Find out how best it could be done. The best strategies to use to get the best result out of it. That is what to do. And you must be ready to allow yourself to be taught. You must be faithful that I want this, and that this is what I need, and this is what my aim is, and we are not looking at it and wavering. You be faithful to it. You must also be available. It's not when you are supposed to be in the office, you will not be there, and the person that will teach you will come and stay and wait for you, and he will go for another program, and then you'll come. If you are not available, you can't get anything. And you must be teachable, ready to learn, ready to change the process. So what I said is be fat. A young man that wants to learn or wants to go into entrepreneurship, you must be fat. You must be fat. It's not being as fat as Kelewu Nwachukwu in those days. It's just being faithful, available, and teachable. That is F for faithfulness, A for availability, and T for teachability. When you do this, you are faithful to the cause. You are ready to put in everything you are asked to put in. And you are available when you are needed. You'll be present. And then when you are to be taught, you listen to your teacher and you will learn. The conglomeration of it all is that you will be blessed by God, because God wants to see you work If you work hard, He will bless you. God does not bless somebody that is not working. If you don't work, Paul says, if you don't work, you don't eat. Solomon said, you that is not ready to learn, go to the ant and learn. The ant will build its house. The ant will go and gather food during dry season, and when it is rainy season, it will go in and shut the door and begin to enjoy. So you need to go and learn. There is nothing you can get by divination more than learning. If you learn it is a part of you. If you go to do it in charms and jazz, you cannot make it. That is it. So my young men and women, that's the advice I give to you. Go and learn. Be ready to learn and give in all that you need to give in to get the best out of it. Yeah, I'm into movie making. If I don't study my script very well, I will go there. I will not deliver very well. And if I don't deliver very well, the people who are watching the film will not enjoy it. And if they don't enjoy it, the owner of the film will not employ you next time because you spoiled the little opportunity you were given. So maximize your opportunity in every area you work, and it shall be well with you.
Amen.
Thank you. That's my advice to them.
Thank you so much, sir,
God
for
bless
really
you.
making our time to be in the studio with us. We are so much excited, and we still hope to still have you some other time.
Yes, thank you so much. Oh, my body is full of goose pimples because of what he said. I will yet come again. I will yet come again because it's good sharing experiences. What I shared is just my childhood experience, and then the issue of the church and what the former generation was and the present one. I'm not even gone into my real life issues. Next time we'll talk about that.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir.
God bless you.
I'm grateful. All right, I hope you were really blessed. Consider sharing this video to also bless the life of others, and don't forget to subscribe to this our YouTube channel so you will know when Uncle Leo is coming back to the studio. Thank you so much, and see you in our next episode. Bye.